most important things. And I was so concerned. I was looking into a certain research journal and articles, and it showed, anyway, this is Africa, of course, but I mean Uganda, but of course we have to hint about almost every single area that really comes into our. So there was some findings. People had started spitting, coughing, dark stuff, and bone issues, heart issues, neurological issues, whereby it's response, children class learning become difficult, and also shivers, convulsions all over. And researchers were shown people are living with high levels of heavy metals. Let me take for instance, for example, I'm going to talk about lead in this particular video. There are heavy metals that are very dangerous to our bodies, especially when they are in high amounts. Let me talk about lead. Lead is one of an important metal element that is out there. It is found in paint, it is found in batteries, and it is very important. Yes, we need it, but at the end of the day, it results in two toxic effects. For example, the challenge with lead, sometimes it substitutes the other important minerals in the body and elements. For example, calcium. Usually, it is associated when it is taken in very high and very high amounts. Yes, it reaches the bloodstream, and it usually also goes into bones and soft tissues. It also goes into things like kidney, heart, and liver. And with time, when the amounts are too high, it results into a lot of effects. Where do we find this element, this metal? It could be the environment, this normal environment. And how does it come to environment? It comes back to we, the people, human beings. Disposal. For example, batteries that are containing lead, how are they disposed of? Usually, they are disposed of in a way that lead finds its way into the atmosphere or even into water bodies, and at the end of the day, the cycle continues until it finds its way to the mouth or inhaled or direct contact from skin into the inside of the body, resulting into lead toxicity. So another thing is paint. Usually we have different forms of lead, lead oxalate, lead oxide. Usually the paints, because lead is an important element, there it helps in many things, drying fast, etc. So most of the paints out there contain lead. And as a matter of fact, the more we deal with paintings that are made up of lead, we keep inhaling all those small particles. We could start inhaling lead, and at the end of the day, this lead will be the one affecting the body. Secondly, we also have direct contact with paint. You're a painter, you're dealing with paint, you're touching here buckets of lead, etc. And also another thing is equipment. A lot of things are made up of lead: buckets, cans, plates, and other equipment. So as we are interacting with these or utilizing these equipments, we could end up having lead into our bodies. So, for example, hunting, yes, I'm talking about hunting. Usually, as we hunt these animals, and they are shot with bullets. So these bullets contain lead. So this lead could move into the circulation of the organ of a given animal that is being hunted, and by the time you come to consume this, it contains very high amounts of lead. I think you have old houses that are old enough. Take, for example, ancient houses, and that were constructed with technologies that is really outdated and was long ago. Usually there was a tendency of utilizing metals like lead. So at the end of the day, you find yourself in an environment that you have very many equipments, pipes, iron sheets, cans, etc., that contain a lot of lead. With the time you find yourself inhaling or ingesting or coming into direct contact, skin to skin, with lead components, and at the end of the day, you end up with very, very high amounts of lead into your body. So for that reason, please, as a matter of fact, let me tell you, high amounts, very, very high amounts of lead into your body are really not good. As a matter of fact, it affects the reproductive system. Secondly, it affects the blood vessels by affecting its permeability. The immune system that is supposed to protect you against diseases, lead affects it so badly. Let's talk about bones themselves. You see, bones themselves, they are affected by lead, because especially the long bones, you get. So thirdly, anemia. Blood will never be enough in your body because lead interferes with the process of blood formation. So for that reason, that's why we come out to talk about such things, so that we can know how to dispose of batteries, car batteries. Engineers, do not just pour the liquids that are found in car batteries anywhere. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it will find itself back into the human body. On the other hand, this same lead results into a lot of CNS issues, learning difficulties, irritability, convulsions, seizures, memory becomes so poor. So, as a matter of fact, let me first ask this question. How many of you here have gone to check their lead levels, heavy metal levels? So I urge you to go to the healthcare professional so that you can find out the levels of lead that are in there. So otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please follow this channel so that you can always get notified every single moment we post videos like this. Thank you so much.